Alright guys, welcome back to NikoBrothers. So today we're continuing to build on the Cobra. We got some progress, and now we actually made a list on the things that we need to do. So let's step to the board and see what we got going on. Alright, so this is our list of things that we need to do just to get it run and drive. So honestly, that might help us motivate us to keep going, you know, just see this thing actually just drive a little bit. But like I said, we gotta work on the clutch, gas pedal, shifter, fuel lines, fuel pump, oil filter, the wire harness, and the drive shaft. That's honestly the bare minimum, and after that we have to do the radiator, power steering, all the accessories, and all the other fun stuff. But
we're not gonna get ahead of
ourselves. Yeah, we're not gonna get there yet. This is already a pretty good list that we have to figure out, tackle some things. I mean, there's definitely...
And that doesn't even include the wire harness that we're gonna have to tuck and nicely hide everything away. This is just to get it rolling by itself.
Right. So there's a lot of work ahead of us. Let's get to it. Let's do it.
Okay, so here we have the next step. We'll be trying to get this clutch to work. So we got the old one. It was by cable, so that's not gonna work for us. We got a hydraulic one. So we got the one from the parts car. If we can make this one work, that's gonna be perfect for it, because there's the transmission where it's gonna plug in, so it's really close to each other. So let's take this apart and then try to fab it up so it's gonna work. Okay, so we got it all taken apart. Here's our slave cylinder. It's gonna go like this. It's gonna fit on there really nice. So that means we're gonna have to make like a little bracket over here on this one to make it sit good. So I went to the auto store, got this. Let's cut it up and make a bracket. So we got the clutch pedal hooked up. Turned out really nice. We had to order a little master, little cylinder up top, so we're gonna wait for that to come in, then we can bleed it, and then we'll see afterwards how we gotta run this line. But so far it's all hooked up, and it turned out really good. Really happy with that. So next thing, we got the gas pedal. So let's take it apart, take that one off, and see if we can mount this one. Here's the pedal that we have to install, and it's not really fitting that well. So we're gonna have to chop it up a little bit because we have to use this pedal. So let's get to chopping. So we cut up the pedal a little bit, made it shorter, and it's actually fitting not too bad. So looks like it's pretty, not too bad. But let's make a little bracket for this one, and then we can actually adjust it, weld it in, and it should be good to go. So here we have it. We got the gas pedal mounted. Then we'll put the little pedal back on a little bit later. But it turned out really nice. It's nice and sturdy. There's room for the brake pedal, and it's coming along nicely. So next thing on the list is going to be getting the shifter. So we're going to try to reuse. This is the one that came from the Mustang. It's a little too long. So it looks like we're just gonna have to cut it right here and then maybe weld it and see how close we can get it. Hopefully we use this thing, and then we can use this or the other shifter, but we gotta use this thing. So let's get to cutting and we'll test fit it. Got the little shift linkage all cut up. We got it connected over there. So far so good. And then we cut the top off. We have this little bar for right now. Now we are ready to drop it in and see how it turned out. Okay. Like that, and then we have first gear. No. Uh-oh. Oh, that's gonna be reverse. So we got reverse right there. We got first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth. So that turned out really nice. Okay, so we got the clutch done, we got the gas pedal done, we got the shifter in place, that's looking good. So next thing we'll do is the fuel lines and the fuel pump. So let's do the fuel pump first, make sure it's working in there. So let's take out the old one and the new one and see if we can make them work. Okay, so the plan is, this is our original 5.0 fuel pump. So we know that will work with this one. We don't know if this one's gonna be strong enough, so we're gonna try to use that fuel pump into that and then put it all back together and it should be good to go. So let's take this one apart and see if it'll fit in that one. Okay, so we got the fuel pump apart. There's our old one, here's our new one. We put the old filter on here and it clipped in really nice. Now, I'm gonna put it in here. It actually fits in really nice. Look at that, nice and tight. And we're ready to put this little cap thing on. It's almost like it's supposed to be. So let's clip that together and then try to get it back in the car. So we got a new fuel pump installed. Next thing is trying to use these original gas lines. So if we can use them, let's try it. But this is going to go to the fuel rail, and then we'll disconnect it and see if we can get it. Let's try it out.
All right, guys, so progress update on the Cobra. It's looking great. I did a lot of work, so let's talk about it. Down here, we got the gas pedal and the clutch pedal all mechanically hooked up from the original Mustang. So gas pedal's working, feels good. Clutch is mechanically connected. Just gotta wait for that reservoir that we ordered to come in. But hey, I mean, our brakes should still be working, so our pedals are done. That's awesome. Definitely knocking out stuff on our list. Let's keep going to the shifter. That took a lot of time, I bet, but he shortened everything up and got it hooked up, and it seems like it's shifting just fine. That is awesome. That was definitely something that we were like, oh man, how are we gonna figure this out? But hey, got it done. Check it off the list. Next thing we got is the fuel lines and the fuel pump. We were really concerned about the fuel pump fitting into the old Cobra gas tank, but got that swapped out too, so we should be getting gas to the engine, which is a great deal.
Well, the right volume.
Yeah.
'Cause that one's the original one, so it's gonna work with the original,
motor itself. So if we put the old Cobra pump, then we don't know what's gonna happen and stuff, so.
Well, it might not have enough pressure, things like that, so.
We don't want to mess around like that. So now we got the original pump with the motor, so that's great. We still got to work on the fuel lines. We actually need a special tool to connect the fuel lines to shorten them up and everything. So we'll go ahead and get that and keep going.
All right, guys, so we're back at the shop. We got our tool. So this is the other brake line, the gas line that we're not going to be using. But let's try to bend it. And if it works good, we got to make this thing. We're going to get this one bent how the old one was. But as you guys can see, that's the original one. It's way smaller. But we can make it work.
Alright guys, next step would be installing this fuel line right here. We got to go ahead and clamp it to the frame itself. There's the old rivets. I'm going to pop that out or drill it out and then rivet in the new clamps. Make sure it's not rubbing, not touching nothing. Get it installed. Let's do it. So a lot of progress, a lot of things that I thought were gonna be like really tricky and had to figure out, we got it taken care of. So honestly, it's green light, we can move forward. We're still waiting for some parts to come back. The drive shaft, we gotta figure that out, where we're gonna drop it off, where it's gonna be taken care of. But hey, it's going forward, we got measurements, so that's looking pretty good. Like we've got that fuel line already ran, so it's not leaking from the fuel pump. It's all over here. We're not gonna plug it in just yet, gotta bleed it, but hey, it's moving forward on it. Like I said, great progress. A lot of things done.
What are we waiting for still?
We still got to get the oil filter figured out, so we got to get that to come in. So we got to wait for that to come in, kind of thing, before we can actually get it running. But
the headers,
to make it sound good. We can still run without the headers, but we definitely need the headers to come in. Before we tuck everything in, we got to get all the parts on there, maybe even roll it around, kind of thing, and then we know it's good to go before we button it up. But
and are we still doing a giveaway?
We are. Let's go ahead and go in the office and find our winner. Like I said, all you have to do is just comment anything. Just write a comment down below. Make sure you subscribe. Come on, we'll get you subscribed, but let's go to the office and find our winner. All right, guys, so it's Friday the 27th. I hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving. I know 2020 has been kind of a weird year, but at the end of the day, hey, we're alive, we're kicking, we're gonna keep going, so thank you, Jesus. All good, let's keep going. All right, so now it's time to find our winner. Like we said, all you have to do is comment below. Comment as many times as you want. Basically anything goes. Make sure you're subscribed. Here we go. All right, we have 337 comments. Let's find our winner. 3, 2, 1. Bob Shear. I am glad you're back in the build. I was waiting a long time. Good luck. Congrats, Bob. Go ahead and email us your shirt size, your address, and we'll get that stuff over to you. Make sure that notification bell's on so you don't miss the next build. We'll actually have a lot more progress coming. We're gonna get this Cobra on the road soon. So we're really excited about that, and we definitely have more builds. Till next time.